whenever a man leaves a woman and he's the one to end the relationship, he's always painted as like a villain, and all of a sudden he's a piece of shit.
Women are crazy. All of them.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand.
Why put myself out there if all people are going to expect from you is being a multimillionaire with a Bentley, right?
Guys have legitimate complaints about women.
Women only go for the top 10% of men.
What happens when men stop caring about chasing validation and start focusing entirely on themselves? Why are more women noticing that men seem less interested in dating, attention, and approval than ever before? Stay with us until the end of this video because today's discussion may explain one of the biggest shifts happening in modern dating during 2026.
Have we noticed that whenever a man leaves a woman and he's the one to end the relationship, he's always painted as like a villain, especially if they're public figures, because all of a sudden the whole internet goes crazy and all of a sudden he's a piece of shit. How dare a man leave a woman? How dare a man break up with a woman, right? Like that's literally how they paint it if a guy is the one that ends the relationship. But the roles reversed, if a woman leaves a man, it's a celebration. Oh, well, he probably deserved it. He probably cheated. He probably did this. He probably did that. He's probably an asshole. It's so interesting to me because it's like a guy can't even end a relationship with a woman without being painted as the villain, without being painted as the bad guy, when in reality, men usually don't leave relationships. And I think it takes a lot usually for a man to leave a relationship. So when he does, why don't people look at it as in like, oh, men don't usually leave, so there must be a reason that he left. No, they don't. They just want to vilify him. Or maybe he just wanted to leave. Women leave men all the time for no good reason, and it's celebrated and it's totally fine. But if a man leaves a woman, it's the end of the world. How dare he?
For decades, society taught men that success meant getting attention, finding relationships, and constantly proving themselves. Many men spent years believing that was the ultimate goal. Today, more men are beginning to question that idea.
Have you noticed that most men are fed up with women?
Yeah, we don't care. And I don't know how many more times women have to say it before it finally sinks in. Women have spent generations trying to live up to whatever version of acceptable men decided we were supposed to be. Be pretty, but not high maintenance. Be independent, but don't make men feel inferior. Have standards, but not too many standards. Age naturally, but don't look old. Wear makeup, but not too much makeup. Be agreeable, but somehow still be interesting. Have children, but don't lose yourself. So hearing that men are done with women that don't fit the current version of what they personally want is not the punishment they think it is. Because women are busy building lives that they're choosing for themselves. They're not sitting around waiting to be chosen by a man. So when we see men online announcing that they are done with women, what we're really seeing is men trying to rebrand rejection as power.
A growing number of men are discovering that peace of mind feels better than constantly chasing approval. Instead of running after validation, they are investing their energy into fitness, business, hobbies, and personal growth.
Guys are so lucky. You guys do not understand. So I'm 25, right? I'm sitting here and I'm having to build a fucking roster. I'm having to sit here and go out and do things I don't want to do. I don't want a roster. I don't want to go out and date. I don't like this hookup culture. I don't like any of it. But I feel like I don't have a choice. Men, you guys just get to sit there and you guys can go wait until you're in your 30s, you're almost 40, and you can just go get with a girl that's in her fucking 20s and live a normal life. Girls don't have that luxury. I'm now sitting here at 25 having to figure out how the fuck to get back in these fucking streets so I can figure out, so 10 years down the line, I'm not sitting there single still with my daughter being an only child. Like, I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want to be happy. Like, I want all of these things. But people don't want that nowadays, it feels. It feels like no matter, it's like, what is this dating stuff? What is Hinge? What is Tinder? What is all of this? Like, it's disgusting. Like, my friends helped me make a Hinge and a Tinder, and it's like, I hated it. I hate it. I ended up deleting my Hinge, and I'm getting ready to delete the Tinder because it's I don't want to talk to anybody on there. Like, I don't want to do any of this. Like I'm just sitting there, like a magazine, going through like clothing. That's what it feels like. And it's like, I don't want that. And I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that at all.
What surprises many people is that these men do not seem unhappy. In fact, many appear more relaxed, focused, and satisfied than they were when dating was their main priority.
I hate when men say women only go for the top 10% of men. Yeah, because none of you try. Besides the top 10%. The top 10% takes care of themselves. They shower.
I think the reason why men just know that they can't just try harder and make it into the top 10% is because they see the top 10% and those are the guys that actually don't even need to try. And one thing that I know about men is that they would rather live in reality than some sort of la-la land.
Social media has played a major role in this change. Men now see countless examples of other men building successful and fulfilling lives without making relationships the center of everything.
This might get me in trouble because I'm going to say the quiet part loud, but why don't gay men stand up for women's reproductive rights or just women's rights in general? It's the girls, the gays, and the theys, but it's not when it's not actually about the gays and the theys. When it's just about the girls, I feel like fundamentally gay men are still just men. And it's showing. It's really showing. I don't know, just some food for thought.
As more men focus on themselves, their standards naturally begin to rise. They become less willing to tolerate drama, stress, and situations that do not improve their lives.
I think it's so funny when men sit here and say, oh, well, it's so much easier for women to get laid, so they should show some restraint. But it's like, whose fault is it that it's easier for women to get laid if not men's fault? Like, maybe if you guys had some self-worth and some self-respect and didn't just give it up to whoever and didn't make yourself so accessible to every woman who asks, maybe that wouldn't be the case. But they then want to call women easy and promiscuous, but like all these easy promiscuous women still don't want you because you get 0 bitches and 0 pussy. And don't tell me it's by choice, because if it were by choice, you would not be crying about it on the internet constantly. You would be at peace with it. You would be at peace with your decision to get 0 bitches. But that's not the case, is it? Like, have you ever stopped and considered that it could be something wrong with you? Like, maybe your personality just really fucking sucks and you're not good looking enough to make up for it? Have you ever considered that? Like, have you ever considered that you're the problem? Of course you haven't.
Many women are surprised by this shift because they expected men to continue chasing no matter what. Instead, men are becoming more selective and far less desperate for attention.
Why is it that the things men want are totally free, but the things they give cost them everything? Think about what we usually expect from a man. We want him to provide, to protect, and to build a future. That's not cheap. That takes his time, his sweat, and years of hard work. It's expensive. But what do men ask for in return? It's usually the simple stuff. Peace, respect, a thank you when they get home, someone who is actually happy to see them. That's all free. It costs $0 to be kind. It costs nothing to be a peace of mind instead of a headache. Men aren't calling us difficult because they want more money. They're saying it because it feels like they are doing the heavy lifting. If he is out there fighting the world to build you a house, the least you can do is make it a place he actually wants to live in. Stop focusing on what he's not buying you and start focusing on the things you're not giving.
Why put myself out there if all people are going to expect from you is being a multimillionaire with a Bentley, right?
Some men are just feeling like, yeah, with the bar that high, it's kind of not even worth my time.
Women are just too greedy. Our standards are too high, and that's the entire reasoning behind the male loneliness epidemic. They have weaponized the sprinkle mindset to shift the blame onto women and blame them for being greedy instead of looking at the reasoning behind it. And regardless whether or not you agree with the creators, the reasoning behind it they've all made very clear, which is that we can no longer depend on a man for love, security, and lifelong partnership, because too many women countless times have been left abandoned with nothing. And if you look at the comments in this video, there's hundreds of women saying the same thing over and over again. So instead, many women are choosing to remain single or deciding to go with a man who can at least provide them with security. But it's a lot easier to frame women as greedy, isn't it? Because then we can ignore the real issues like misogyny, violence against women, patriarchy, men's porn addiction, because that once again makes it the woman's fault and never the man's.
The biggest change is psychological. Men are learning that happiness does not automatically come from relationships. They are realizing that purpose, freedom, and self-respect can be just as rewarding.
Women are crazy. All of them. The scary part is, they don't even try to hide it. Us men just ignore the signs when we're horny and overconfident. Girls, don't get offended. It goes both ways. All us men are dickheads, just in different fonts. But when we get called out on it, we act all shocked, like it wasn't our fault. On a serious note, you've just got to find the right level of crazy or the right level of dickhead that you can handle. It only becomes a problem when you start moaning that you've picked the biggest dickhead or the craziest psychopath. Why? We didn't give a fuck. That's not our problem. You should have seen the signs, because they're all there. You just scroll past them with your eyes closed like, yes, he's God's gift, or, oh yes, she's a fucking queen. No, mate, she's a fucking nutter. So what I'm saying to you is, keep your eyes open for the signs, and if you don't think you can handle it, don't fucking see it through. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, drop me a follow, like, comment, repost, do whatever you need to do to get this video out there.
Once a man becomes comfortable being alone, he stops making decisions based on fear. He no longer worries about missing out because he already enjoys the life he has created.
Women crazy. People in here, couples. You know, I feel for men because I don't think women truly understand. We don't know what we put y'all through. And you don't, that's why when I see women in relationships with other women, I commend you. I can't do that shit. This is for the ladies in here. I want you to be honest. You ever got so mad at your dude that you blocked him? And then got mad at him because he never realized that he was blocked? You ever did that? He called later like, hey babe, what you doing? Nothing, what you doing? Nothing, I just woke up and I just, I was asleep. I was knocked out last night. The only reason why she unblocked it, she was like, let me unblock him now because he had enough. That had no idea you was even upset. Men be so oblivious and shit. If a woman be like, you know what? We don't even have to talk right now. I'll talk to you later and hang up. She be waiting for you to call back. Men be like, I guess I'm gonna go chill with my she don't want to talk. So if I tell you not to call me back, you really not gonna call me back? Yes, you crazy. We crazy. Women are crazy. Oh man.
This new mindset is changing the dating market in ways few people predicted. Men who are content on their own are much harder to influence through loneliness or social pressure.
The sad dating truth that 99% of all men are going to have to accept is that women do not care about you unless you do not care about them. The second that you do not care, or the second that you remove your care, is the second that you signal a discrepancy in dating market value. That discrepancy in dating market value is the only thing that positions you at the higher value, and once she looks at you as the higher value, you now start to become the man that she actually wants to obtain, or you now become the man that she actually wants a relationship from. The bitter truth that majority of men are going to have to learn is that the desire for commitment, or the desire to obtain a relationship that involves commitment in any way, shape, or form, is not only anti-seductive, but it is feminine in nature. Women oftentimes love being relationship builders. If you sit back and you remove the care and you remove the attention, then and only then are you now the problem that she wants to solve and the opportunity that she wants to actually capitalize on.
That does not mean men have completely given up on relationships. It simply means they want relationships that genuinely improve their lives rather than complicate them.
Yes, I'm in the bathroom. So with this comment, like, why would you punish your little one for what the baby daddy did? Like, that, honestly, truth be told, my love, that's dumb and ignorant, and I'm gonna tell you that right the fuck now. Because you're mad at the baby daddy because the baby daddy not doing what you want the baby daddy to do. You are going to punish the child as well as the father because you're mad. That's fucked up. Quite honestly, it's fucked up because you're selfish. And this is exactly what I've been talking about with the men. It's not just men. You're selfish because you're only thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the child, not thinking about what they want. You're thinking about what you want and your feelings. Fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my comments. You dumb as fuck, honestly. Quite honestly, yeah. Yeah.
Whether people agree with this trend or not, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. More men are choosing peace over pursuit, and that decision is reshaping modern dating in real time.
Guys have legitimate complaints about women. Legitimate. That they're tired of being used. They're tired of feeling like, oh, you know, the woman is always right. They never get an apology. They get treated with disrespect. They're tired of not being appreciated. They're tired of having you come and say you want all these things from them. But when they ask what you bring to the table or have the audacity to suggest that something they really value isn't on the table and that perhaps you yourself are not enough to be the table, then somehow you have an attitude problem about it, right? They're tired of all of those things and more.
No, because it really blows me, and there's nothing more annoying than when I see women go absolutely insane when they find out that they are having a daughter instead of a son. Now, a little disappointment maybe because you already got a whole bunch of daughters, you finally wanted a son, or, you know, maybe you just wanted your first kid to be a boy. A little disappointment, okay. But the way people will flip a table, and I will preach this till I die. I'll die on this hill. The amount of discipline and strictness that we put on young women really needs to be put on men. Like, people be letting their sons just get out here and be straight menace and enable that menace behavior because boys are gonna be boys. We not playing that over here. I'm putting a foot up a...
So here is the real question. If men can find happiness, purpose, and fulfillment without constantly chasing validation, why would they go back to living any other way?
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.